On this channel, we like to talk about how to do storytelling, whether it's cinematography, whether it's performance. Today we have a stand-up comedian from Boston, also a friend of mine. His name is James Liberge. We're going to talk about stand-up comedy and your process and things of that nature. James, please tell me what made you want to start doing stand-up comedy?
Great question. Probably about, I guess, probably 20 years ago now. I did it, actually, no, 25 years ago now. I started doing it in college, and I did it for about 4 years, and I got kind of like, I was young, so I got kind of frustrated with it, and didn't seem like it was going in any direction that I wanted to go in, and I just stopped. And this December 2024, a friend of mine who decided to start getting into stand-up knew that I had done it before, and so he was asking me about it and kind of like the process, and he would always run jokes by me, and I would talk to him about it. And he said to me, why don't you start with me? Like, I'm going to start doing mics in January. Like, why don't you and come back into it? Like, you're funny. And I said, I don't know. Like, oh, that's something like from before, and it was fine. And I think I had a little PTSD from it. Like, Boston, doing comedy in Boston in the early 2000s was kind of rough. There wasn't a lot of open mics to go to, and a lot of the old guard of Boston comedians weren't real warm and embracing with new comedians. And so I got a little jaded, and I wanted to stop, and so I didn't really have any ambition to pick it back up again. But I went to a mic with him to support him for one of his first mics. And the guy who was running it said, oh, aren't you going to go on? I said, no, I don't even have any material. And he said, well, you don't need material. It's just an open mic. Just get up there and like talk. And I said, I think I'm going to pass. And being in the space, it kind of made me want to start doing it again. So I went home and I wrote what I thought was 5 minutes, ended up being like 2. And I went back the next week and I started doing stand-up comedy again. That was this January. Okay. So I was about 20 years removed from it and started up again January of 2025.
No pleasure at all, but still pregnancy, you know, that's a tough road. Yeah. Oh man, it's going great. All right, let's go random here, okay? If a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, can I still masturbate vigorously with the intent of writing it off on my taxes, huh? Is there any tax attorneys here? I'm never in a room with tax attorneys. Oh, well, that looks great. Did you get their Sauvignon Blanc?
No, they didn't have it.
Ah, no Sauv Blanc? Do you all think the homeless look down on people who go camping? Like, how boring is your life? How dull is your 9 to 5, 40-hour-a-week life where you're like, let's mix it up a bit. Let's go sleep on the ground in a tent in the woods, huh? I mean, camping's really only frowned upon if you don't have a job, right? And I mean, at that point, it's a lifestyle choice, right? All I'm saying is that there's a very thin line between enjoying a nice summer day with your boy Rusty, fishing big mouth bass out of a lake. I don't know what's in a lake. I don't fish. Roasting marshmallows by the fire while singing some kind of white song on an acoustic guitar. And huffing your own feces out of a brown paper bag just to get by, right? We've all been so close.
I've heard some comedians talk about when they were younger and when they came to the understanding that they thought of themselves as funny. Did you have a similar type of moment where it was like, you know what, I'm actually kind of good at making people laugh.
Yeah, I mean, like, I was always kind of one of the funnier ones in my friend group in high school, and I always remember people saying to me that I was funny. People push me towards doing things like, everyone in my family is an actor. So there's always been lots of like arts and theater in the house, and my mom did it growing up, and my brother and sister did it. So I always knew that there was probably a possibility of me doing it. I think that I learned quickly that there's a huge difference between being funny and being able to put that on paper and then onto a stage. Like, everyone's got somebody in their friend group that's hilarious, but it doesn't necessarily mean they would be a good stand-up comedian. And I think the 20-year gap in between of me doing stand-up, I think as I grew, I realized that. I said, this is not about me being funny. This is about the process. This is about working it out. This is about figuring out how I take being funny with friends in a moment and portraying that on stage.
I remember listening to Gary Shandling talk about finding the truth.
Yeah.
It seemed like a lot of his life is focused on finding truth on stage. Do you agree with me on something, and that is actors, comedians? It's my belief that actors are more wanting to be a different person than themselves. Comedians, on the other side, are commonly trying to be themselves more truly on stage. Is that fair as far as...
I think it is fair. I think in some
like
ways.
a general...
I think compared to actors, it's very fair. Like, actors, you're playing a part, you're playing a role that was written for hundreds of thousands of people to play. And you've got to figure out a way to play that role. With comedians, a lot of it is based off of like your life, your experiences, who you are, your personality. So in that aspect, a lot of that does come out more compared to actors. I think the difference is, and I think a lot of people don't realize this, is that comedians in general, there are exceptions to the rule, but comedians in general are not what you see on stage about how like up and outgoing and like personal they are. That's not always the case in real life. Like, the more comedians that I talk to, the more I realize lots of comedians feel comfortable like around each other, talking with each other and stuff like that. But that person that you get on stage is not always the person that you get having a conversation in real life. There's a security and a safety net about being on stage and a mic and making people that you could not normally communicate with in real life laugh. And that's the connection they have with the audience. But sometimes in a room, one-on-one or in a small group, it's like a comedian's nightmare. That's not me personally. Like, I've never had a problem socializing with people, but the more of them that I talk to, it's easy when they're communicating with you because you're another comedian who gets it and has been through it, and it's kind of like an island of misfit toys almost.
And when I say, too, the difference between actors and comedians, I know that there are many examples of where a comedian can be a great actor. They can blend it to Bill Burr.
Yep.
I know he's done some acting, certainly Eddie Murphy.
Robin Williams.
Has made some incredible Robin Williams. But it's interesting to see how different people have a different craft, and maybe they blend it, maybe they don't, into other stuff.
Oh, man. Bitches be like, you made me come, and I'm here to tell you I didn't make you do anything, okay? Consent's very important to me, Oh, man. I guess what I'm trying to say is I'm a nice guy. They say nice guys finish last, but I don't think that's true. We finish in the shower like gentlemen, you know what I mean? Ladies, that your hair's not the only thing clogging that drain. You know what I mean? It's, oh man, it's a rough road, you know? Oh man. I had a friend come up to me the other day and he was like, what do you think gets people really going about Donald Trump, huh? What do you think gets them really going about him? And I'm like, I don't know. Racism and misogyny and I don't know. And this man looked at me in my eyes and said, yeah, but that's his thing. Oh, that's his thing. All right. Oh, it's like my dad left me when I was 6 because he was addicted to crack. But, you know, I guess that was his thing, right? Oh, what's with that weird dude who pulls his pants down around, you know, women in an alleyway? That's not okay. Yeah, but that's his thing, you know? That's what he does, you know? Anyway, my name is James Liberge. Thank you so much for coming. Come on up here, Connor.
Let me ask you a bit more about your process.
Okay.
So when you're coming up with material, are you finding there are certain ways that help you get to those, to the types of jokes that you like to put out on the stage?
Yeah, so my process just in general is I'm a premise guy. So I always come up with premises or like what I feel like is a funny one line. And then I think after that, okay, what can I do with this? Like, how can I evolve this? How can I wrap this premise or this line around a bigger story or a bigger joke that will get me to that laugh? Some people sit down and they just write stories and they write, that's not me. I have to start with something simple and then I build off of that.
Okay.
And premises come to me all the time. Just like I feel like ideas come to me all the time too. Like, oh, that would be a great idea. That would be a great idea. In comedy, I'm able to execute those kinds of things where just general ideas in real life are harder to do. With comedy, you can move things around. You can take lines and you have them put in one spot at one point, and then it didn't work, and then you move it up 3 lines, and the line works better, and that's part of the joke. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I don't think I'm answering your question.
No, actually, I think you are.
Oh, okay, all right.
Is there, when you think of comedians that you rate high
Yeah.
to your taste, do you mind telling me about maybe one of them that you really enjoy as a comedian and why?
My favorite comedian is Dave Attell.
Okay.
And that's not going to be everyone's choice. Like every time you talk to somebody about comedians, they're like, oh, Pryor, Carlin, those guys are great. Like I'm not, dumping on those guys. Seinfeld, not dumping. Great perfectionists at their art. I like Attell because he's somebody who I'm trying to figure out how to say this without sounding mean. He's somebody who shows comedians that you can be great at this job and not have to be massive. Like he's a comedian's comedian. Mm-hmm. Like anyone who's a famous comedian will know who Dave Attell is.
Right.
And he's more of like a road warrior. He's the guy who goes on the road all year round to make his money, but he's not doing big theaters. He's not doing, he does lots of small clubs in New York and smaller clubs in different areas of the country. And he's accessible. Mm-hmm. Like he's very accessible and he's quick-witted and like jokes are coming out one after another. And then when he's got you and he's got you in the room, he doesn't stop. It's almost like someone tickling you.
Yeah.
He just hits. And that's so much harder to do, in my opinion. When you're somebody who is a great comedian who can hold your attention the whole time, he can go south where he tells a joke that he knows the audience is going to like, and they're like, ah, and then 20 seconds later, he's got you again. Those are hard skills to master because lots of people, when they lose a room, they've lost a room. And they may have lost a room for the next 3 guys behind them.
If I remember watching Bumping Mics with
Yeah.
Dave Attell
Yeah.
and Jeff Ross,
Yeah.
and they did a lot of interaction with the audience. What are your thoughts on how much you like to interact
Okay,
with
this
the
is a
audience?
great topic of conversation because right now there are certain comedians who are making a living out of complete crowd work. And their whole thing is an hour, hour and a half of just crowd work. And they're very good at it. And the internet is surrounded with 7-second, 11-second clips of people just doing crowd work. Anytime you see a clip on TikTok or YouTube Shorts or anything like that of a comedian, it's 90% of the time it's crowd work. And
Yeah.
I think crowd work is important. I think it's a skill that not every comedian has because you have to be able to think on your feet and it's not a prepared material. But I'm noticing now at shows that audience members think that they're involved in the show.
Okay, so you
Where-
get more hecklers.
It's not even just heckling, it's just like talking or like trying to engage with the comedian during the set. And now most clubs I go to, they give a like rules of the room before the show. Like, hey, don't talk to a comedian unless he's talking to you. And I think a lot of this is based off of people doing crowd work and that there's a comedy boom right now. And a lot of it I think we do owe to the people who are doing crowd work because now it's interactive and it's not just like people sitting back and enjoying a show. You're a part of it now. I don't personally like it. I don't mind interacting with the audience if I'm the one interacting, but I feel like we've kind of set ourselves up and set other comedians up for that to happen more frequently because of this kind of comedy that's happening right now.
Okay. One last question.
Yeah.
You came to Western Mass.
Yeah.
You did a show in Springfield.
Yeah.
Tell me about the show.
It was great. So it was an open mic at a bar in Springfield. It was at an Irish pub in downtown Springfield, and it was every open mic room is different. And it's one of the things that I love about comedy. Every room you go in, it feels a little different. It smells a little different. The crowd's a little different. And usually the open mics that I go to are very low energy, dull, room full of comedians that are just trying to work on their sets. Very supportive, but not engaging. This room was definitely not that. It was alive, a lot of people. People were really into it. It was loud and the energy was high, but the energy was good energy.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, this is cool. Like, we don't have anything like this. You know, I mean, maybe there are some in Boston that I'm not aware of, but near me, like, I don't have a room like this. And the two gentlemen who set it up, Maverick and Alex Martinez, were like great hosts, very kind, generous with their time. Loved the fact that I came out from Boston to do a mic at their mic, and the crowd had a really good feel and energy to it. Like, I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can speak for many in Western Mass. We appreciate it when talent comes into Western Mass
Yeah.
from Eastern Mass and shows us a good time. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you, James. Thanks for coming
Yeah,
in today
thank you for having
to
me.
E-Media, and I wish you success.
Yeah, thank you.
in your stand-up, and I look forward to seeing more shows in the future.
Sounds great.
All right.
Thank you, Charlie.
Thank you.